Hello friends. On August 7, 2026, OpenAI made an announcement that stopped the AI world in its tracks. The company said it could not rule out that its unreleased model, called Astra, had reached what its safety system calls the critical tier. So they hit the brakes. Development stopped. It was the first time any frontier AI lab had ever publicly confirmed one of its own models triggered that highest safety level. But here is what most people do not know. There is an entire structured system behind that decision. A tiered framework that grades AI models on how dangerous their capabilities are before they are ever released. In this video, we are going to break down exactly what those tiers are, what triggers each one, and who actually decides. Alright, so what exactly is a preparedness framework? Think of it like a safety inspection for aircraft before they are cleared to fly. Before an AI model is released to the public, a preparedness framework runs it through a series of structured tests to measure how dangerous its capabilities are. The idea is to catch problems before they reach people, not after. OpenAI published the first version of its preparedness framework back in December 2023 and released a major update in April 2025. Anthropic, another leading AI lab, has a comparable system called the Responsible Scaling Policy. Both frameworks serve the same purpose. They define specific capability levels a model might reach, and they set rules for what happens when it does. Up next, let's look at the actual tiers inside OpenAI's system. Now let's look at the 4 tiers themselves. The system works like a danger dial with 4 settings. Low means a model adds very little risk beyond what already exists. Medium means it can meaningfully help someone cause harm, but not at a mass scale. High is more serious. At this level, a model's capabilities are dangerous enough that it needs strong safeguards before it can be deployed. Critical is the top level. For cybersecurity, a model hits critical when it can independently develop and use functional zero-day exploits against hardened real-world systems, or plan and execute a full novel cyber attack from a high-level goal, all without any human guidance. The framework watches 4 areas of risk: cybersecurity, threats involving chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear materials, persuasion, and model autonomy. Next, let's look at what each tier actually triggers when a model lands there. So what actually happens when a model lands on one of these tiers? Think of it like a traffic light with 4 settings. Low and medium are green lights. The model can be deployed, with standard safety measures in place. High is a red light for deployment. The model cannot go live until strong mitigations are in place. Critical goes one step further. It does not just block deployment, it also halts the development itself until safeguards exist during the building process. Right now you can see both tiers in action. GPT 5.6 Sol, the most capable model OpenAI has publicly deployed, sits at high for cybersecurity. Astra triggered critical on August 7, 2026, so OpenAI paused all non-compliant Astra work immediately. Up next, how does the system actually decide which tier a model gets? Here is how a model actually earns its tier. The process has 3 stages. First, automated benchmarks run structured tests across thousands of scenarios to measure raw capability. Think of it like a written exam that checks what the model can do. Second, a group called the Safety Advisory Group, or SAG, steps in. The SAG is an internal cross-functional team of OpenAI leaders who review expert red team assessments. Red teaming means skilled people actively try to get the model to do harmful things, looking for gaps the automated tests missed. The SAG then forms a recommendation based on those findings. Third, the SAG sends its recommendation to OpenAI leadership, which the framework defines as the chief executive officer or a designee. That person makes the final call. Next, let us look at why critics say this process has a serious gap. The framework has real critics, and their concerns are worth understanding. First, it is entirely voluntary. There is no government agency or independent body that enforces it. Second, a peer-reviewed analysis from September 2025 found the framework lets the chief executive officer unilaterally deploy capabilities above what the Safety Advisory Group recommends. The SAG advises, but the top executive decides. Third, the framework defines severe harm as more than 1,000 deaths or more than $100 billion in economic damage. That bar is high, which means medium-tier systems can ship without extra safeguards. Fourth, the framework includes a clause that lets OpenAI lower its own safety standards if a competitor releases a high or critical system first. Next, let us return to Astra and ask what this moment actually means. So here's what the Astra moment actually tells us. On August 7, 2026, for the first time ever, a frontier AI lab publicly confirmed that one of its own models had triggered the critical tier. The framework's highest break fired, and OpenAI stopped. That matters. It shows the mechanism can work as designed. But the same moment surfaces every open question we covered. No outside body verified the finding. The chief executive still holds the final call. And the competitor clause means standards can slide. The core tension comes down to this: structured self-governance, where labs police themselves, versus independent oversight, where an outside authority has real power to check. The Astra pause showed the alarm can ring. The question still open is whether anyone outside the building is listening. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.